I say this from experience. I've had so many, I would say so many mergings or feelings or togetherness afterlives with God, although there is no afterlife, but you know what I'm trying to say. I've experienced that feeling so many times now. It's always me. And once it merges with you, once you are God, once you understand, like there's no reason to pussyfoot and say, you know, if it bothers you that I say the word God so freely, I'm sorry, because I'm not. Because I'm not going to hide the fact that you're everything there is to do with God, just as everybody else is, and there's nothing wrong with that. Instead of convincing yourself that there was some crazy benign power that may have been whatever, you know, but it's not. You're that. You are that. So that's the amazing benign power. You're part of it. So I've had so many of those experiences that I know that in other lifetimes, other times that I've experienced myself, my real true self has experienced getting that enlightenment and having really nothing to live for. Having your own family to live for, and the reason they stay alive and they go off on their own is because their own families will get rid of them, or else their own families will follow them, or else their own families will understand. In this day and age, you have to find something to go for. Old masters would say they would smoke, or else they would simply disappear, or they would, drink or have a girlfriend, or else they would simply disappear. Or the ancient ones would sit and hum and meditate because they had the world to live for. They had nature to maintain, and that's what they did. Okay, now we just expect that of nature, and we don't maintain any part of nature on a whole, most of us. We don't try to communicate with nature or spirit what we are, but that can be forgiven. God does forgive, because you are from God. You have to forgive yourself for what you've neglected this whole time, and that's okay. I know it makes you feel like a lot of weight on your shoulders, but it can be lifted this moment. The moment you say, I know that I am, that's it. And from that point on, you live with your heart. Okay? Now, all the other times that I've experienced my past lives, infinite. I can't even explain it. There's no point. People will make a joke of me if I told them all the things that I've done. But as me, as Dan Alexander, I have my family and my kids to live for. And when I say my kids, that's of course my kids. When I say my family, that includes my mom and dad and my brothers and my extended family. But that includes to me the whole world, everything existing, from all the way down to the molecules and rocks. I'm not saying that things aren't going to be bad for some people. Viruses are bad for some people. Bacteria is bad for some people, because they think it that way. They've been taught it that way. And if you think something's bad, you have to realize everything that breaks down in your life is happening to teach you something. Every time a bad day goes really bad, it's because you're learning patience. Because you weren't patient enough, or else you wouldn't be angry. If something made you feel like you were inadequate, that's you wanting to learn that you are worthy of all things, and you don't need somebody else or anything else to validate that for you. That's your lesson you're trying to teach yourself. But since you're in the moment and your personal ego says, but I love this girl and she left me, or I love this guy and he left me, or I lost this job and I'm going to die now because I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills, or, I need this drug and I can't find it, so I'm just going to go nuts. I need my fix. That's all in your head. And as hard as all of them are to overcome, I'm saying it like that just to give them different voices, to give them some character. And I don't mean to put any of them down, because they're all difficult. I understand. I've been there. I have really been there. I don't have to put myself in any shoes. I put myself in your bodies before. I've been everywhere. I've been everything, and I still am. But I get to come back and act as Dan. So I had such a hard time understanding, what am I supposed to do now? Am I supposed to, forget about my family completely? But if I do that, I feel like I have nothing to live for, and my heart disconnects, and I have less feeling for the world. So my kids are what keeps me connected to that world, to my humanity. And other than that, the family that I live with, the world that I'm in, every single tree, every single leaf, every bud, every stem, everything, they're my family. And I love them that much. And that doesn't mean I kiss every single one of them and will go up to them and say, oh, how are you doing today, Mr. Rock? But I show them respect. I give my love to all things. Everything that we experience is a magical blessing, which each of us should understand that you should value that. But if you don't, you can start now, because you are God too, and don't be ashamed of it. So I know this because I've been there, and you'll know this once you accept it into yourself. It's all you have to do. It's not that hard. Just seeing other people not understand will take you away from it, and sticking with it is hard. I know that for sure. I've done it many, many times, and I've been doing it this lifetime for over 2.5 years now. And I'm going to keep going until the blessed day that I go back to the one. That's beautiful too, without the body, because I'm with the one right now. I'm just with the body in this little time space. So that's all I want to say for now, and there's so much more for me to explain, to share. I love you all. Peace.